Happy Sunday, fighter at warriors. Let's do a little pep talk because today is the day where I realize I gotta be the Sunday service person, because everyone, including myself when I was growing up in my fitness life, was the Monday disease person, which means that it feels like you only want to have a weekend. So on Monday now, you have to have 5 days of work, hard work, and it's no fun, and you just think, thank God it's Friday. And then when it comes close to Friday, you're excited, but then all of a sudden you realize that now it's weekend, now it's gonna be Monday again. And then that becomes kind of, can't live out the weekend because now I'm gonna have to have a Monday. So however I twisted and turned it, I always felt some blues about Monday. And knowingly now that I did a lot of that self-sabotage it was always a cheat day on the weekend, so then you start your whole new day with that. And that is one of the big reasons why I wanted to give you this message about what I'm doing for June for my VIP clients on Messenger. So my Messenger VIP routine is where I have the service with one-on-one client and coach relationship that I build and establish, and I customize, I tailor to each individual, because you are not a robot. And just like I don't want to have a schedule where I show up on Cubicle for you, I know that you might not want to show up on certain times and give me a list of how you ate and what you didn't. And for the record, I don't really care about that, because that's not what I ask. It's not what is gonna make you achieve and feel wonderful. It will not make you achieve your goals at all, because it starts in the wrong end. It starts with the consequence, not really your behavior and your actions. On the Messenger VIP routine now in June, I'm gonna have my inspiration, motivation, education routine, the Pauline radio. And that is what I got from one of my clients. She tells me that I'm the Pauline radio. And I'm doing this for you via Messenger to have short, precise, day-to-day business in how to stay engaged, how to have a happy mood, how to start the day right, how to keep going, what to do when you sabotage, what to do when your sabotage actually helps, what do you do to stay strong and not get discouraged. All those things are what I provide for my clients who are on my Messenger. Because in the FD8 is my big challenge group, and that has a new Super Shed Extreme is out there for you to sign up for. That is my main general lessons. Defeat to Refeed, Kryptonite Challenge, the Rebellion, the training education, all that stuff to build up your foundation of fitness life is why you're there. And if you've ever been into school, you know it takes more than one course. You're not gonna be a PhD with one pamphlet. And if you want to have that body you think should just be done in a minute, you're gonna notice it's gonna be a full-time commitment, and that is the best insight and the best investment for your life. Because when you see your body as the only thing to worry and concern yourself about, and worry means you care, you don't want to be a trash can body, that when you actually see that you have everything you are and you have nothing that holds you back except for yourself, you realize why I'm here, to go to Messenger and send you a message to stay strong for the moment. Because as a human with ability and availability to all temptations that you can have in any moment, that is, Alex, that you can just keep going and you can have it, and let's say you can eat for 12 people in a moment and not even be aware, because of the desire of so tasty, delicious food, junk food and diet junk food, chocolate and chips, cake and cookies. If you want to stuff yourself and, let's say, not get away with it, you know how to do it in our world. And that is why it's not really any more about, you can have a little bit, or a little doesn't matter. Because the kind of little matter that you add up is huge. One little bite of something, like it's as a keto snack, is 250 calories. And if you think now a woman would be on 1500 consistently to lose fat and get healthy and so on, that is a big chunk of junk. And it's not nutritious at all, doesn't fuel your brain, doesn't do anything for you, but it does trigger you to want that again. So when you keep on not wanting to give up on your temptations because you just like them so much and you don't want to see that they're just spoiling you, it comes so much It comes so much of trying and trying until you quit. If you ever forgive about, you don't want to have this dream anymore about eating everything in sight, and then because you realize like that's what you do anyway, but you get away with it because you do pobo. So that's when you realize that everything you believe about struggle and hardship and that is, how can you do this, and you just want it to wait and to end. When you go on a diet, you just wait for the end until you realize that the problem you got is that there is no end, and the human mind doesn't do well with never-ending situations like the universe. That we don't know how to handle that. We have to have answers. So what is the answer then if you wonder how to win over yourself? Like if you keep on sabotaging, well, you have to have some wake-up calls. You have to have reminders. You have to be around people who are not doing it. Because if you keep on looking at the typical herd, if you look at your friends, look at social media, look at everywhere, you're going to notice that the same slippery slope downwards. Try a little bit, be happy, and then, can't do it, forget about it. It's like this all or an on-off switch. And that is the normal. That is what people expect. So now you notice what I say. If you expect that you're not going to succeed, you're not going to enjoy it, and you're not going to love it, you're not going to want to be on this fantastic diet, you're not going to want to train, you're not going to want to do this in the future, you're not going to want to be your best during travel, you're not going to want to plan. If that is your way of living, to see how you're going to do it, you're going to fall off, because it's going to be too many times of those sudden temptations I'm talking about, that you just can completely in a moment cancel out the work for a whole week. That is why I do the defeat to refeed in FD8, because those minutes are when people in general do this. When you have made a wrong choice and you eat something, then the next day you step on the scale. Now the scale might show up and down or same, and no matter what are you going to do with that message? Because if you ate junk and suddenly the scale dropped because you didn't eat as much roughage, you didn't have the same food volume, but the calories are excessively high, then you might for a day or two not see it on the scale. You might also lose weight on the scale while you're gaining fat doing the same thing. You're not aware. Or you might have gained weight because you poboed and now you're scared that you did because it was all this food volume. But all those things are like weather reports, but that's when you make your own executive call, because you don't have a coach like me who tells you, hey, stay focused now. That is just another kind of drop in the ocean and has nothing to do with your success rate, has nothing to do with that. But if you go back on this, it's gonna impact your self-trust, impact your self-reliance, impact your self-programming. And yeah, program requires consistency. That is why we train with weights. We don't train volleyball now and then just to kind of build more muscle, because it doesn't work that way. It has to be a system that gives you more systematic changes in the way you want. That's why we do the way we do with Fighter Diet. So in June then, with my Messenger VIP routine, I have the one-on-one direct messages for my coach-client relationship to build up and keep them up, where you and I have our own private channels. But that is not how I can come and pep talk you and have my voice lessons and my daily 5 APG and to bring you to a good mood, to keep you up, to stay high, to fly high with me. That is the service I do with this group on Messenger that I call the Caesar Training Day group. And that is my VIP who I add into this group, who want to listen in to my reminders, who don't want to drift away to your own wonderful life. Because as much as you love your life, you have things that are unresolved in fitness and health and your self-care. You kind of tend to let go of yourself and focus on everyone else. And yeah, you're a great person, you're wonderful. But how do you feel on the inside? That is why I'm here, because I fight for your right to be an independent person with your own dreams and goals and not have to be called you're selfish or shouldn't do this or criticize. Like, I really want you to stop listening. Don't even tune in to people who have a say about you. Because what do they know and why do they even care? They should focus on themselves. When everyone focuses on themselves to be the best you can, you're going to be so happy. And that is what I teach you, that we can cry and complain, but we're still sitting with it because we're relaying this history. We're relaying it to the story. And for me, I don't want you to listen to my shitty stories all day long. Imagine that. I come here and talk about everything that goes wrong all the time. That is just life. So it's easy to think that that is the way to be, to kind of say, hey, I just tell it well like it is. Yeah, why don't you tell it the way you want to be? Why don't you talk about how you want it to be? Why don't you become a visualizer like me, who live out my life? I know my film, I keep on, and I trust my intuition, but I don't do what you do. You trust your intuition the way marketing says, you know? How you should be intuitive about your eating. You know what intuitive eating does? It's like the opposite to POBO. It's gonna have you go straight to the cookie jar. Any moment you might impact the density in your fat cells. So that's the preservation of life mechanism. Here you go. You think it's gonna be hard to stay strong around temptations when it's about life and death? You don't see that fight, but I know about it, and your body does, and your mind. So yeah, you do become a little crazy if you don't know how to eat. And if you think you're gonna be happy your whole life, not being able to eat, what are you gonna do when you have achieved your goal? Yeah, think about that. That you're so determined you get to do it, what are you gonna do now? Oh, welcome to the club of noticing that you had a Shetland pony, now you made the thoroughbred horse. Now it's a snowstorm because you don't want to keep up this routine. And if you built it on unreliable way, keto, fasting, intermittent fasting, macros tracking, everything that is just too extreme and not based on being aware of what you do, not taking leadership and management of your actions, to kind of just say, if you don't make it, whatever, start over. You start over everything in life except for fitness and body composition, pretty much. Muscles, they don't mind that you eat like a pig. But the fat cells, yeah, they're gonna stay thick, and they love you for always remember them. They're always open. But the good thing on the other side of after diet life is that if you understand Fight Nirvana, you're gonna have this reality. That everything you taste and everything you eat is just delicious. That everything you are is just making you water, and it's in your calorie budget, and you know how to eat it. That it's the whole fun is the anticipation that you're gonna eat and gonna enjoy. You know you're not gonna have any consequence because you know exactly what makes you happy, how to eat, how to stop, and how to feel satiated and full and happy. You know exactly the way to routine, how to refeed, how to defeed. You know exactly how long it takes for you to peak as a peacock. All that mastery of self. How do you do it? Well, you practice. And I don't know where you're gonna find this information, because everyone sells you fat for extreme measures that get you results in a day. That is why you never get it, because you can't build a life and a body in a day, and you can definitely sabotage it with those ways of acute change of plan. And that is my big role here, that I don't change my plan because my mind says something else. I don't change because I have a mood for something. I don't change my direction or my goal or my agenda because I have a sudden impulse. No, I know that comes and goes, and how do I handle it? I cannot be like a reactive nuclear bomb, right? Like I have to be on top. I have to fly over the ocean. I have to be master over my storms, and I cannot participate in this chaos, this crazy drama that people just keep on putting on top of yourself because you want it. Because what you keep on looking for, you're gonna find it. What you say you don't want is what you keep on focusing on, you get it. You always end up what you want the most, always. Because yeah, you can fight about it, but in somehow weird way, there's always a way and an angle where you can see there has a function, there's a reason why this happens, and even though you don't know the reason, you can see why it does. That you can kind of go with the flow and see, this is leading me the right way. So the messenger VIP routine with this group is where I go and I motivate you, that I pep talk you, that I go in here and make sure that someone remembers you or have a dream just like me. That someone is there who cares, because when you don't care, what are you gonna do? And why is it in my interest? Because this is my mission and this is my kind of project of life, that I want to see what does motivation and being there for people actually do. Because I know that you have your wonderful lives. I know you can drift away. But then it's interesting to just hear that everyone cries about how you wish you had support. You want to have a friend who remembers. You want someone to keep you accountable. But that's on the days when you haven't been your best friend. But I'm my best friend every day because I made it that way. Because I want to be happy. So that is what I kind of lead the way, to teach you how to be better, to teach you for yourself, to be better for yourself, not to have a better body for someone else, but to feel empowered, to feel grateful and be strong-minded and to not follow the herd, to have the peace of mind for yourself, to be happy in the doing and the being and the feeling, and to trust this is worth it, because why would I fight so hard when I can just do what everyone else is, not care and just give you a challenge and that's it, right? Because I have higher ambitions in life than that. For me, this is not about a paycheck to paycheck thing. This is my love, my passion. And of course, I can't hide it and I have to share it. So every day when I come and lead, my whole happiness is to lead people who are going in the same direction I am, who want to be happy and healthy and fit and strong, who want to love fitness life, who want to be healthy, nutritious food eaters, who feel like me when you're happy you see someone ate a salad on the street and it wasn't hamburgers, who are so happy to just have a body and that you want to be grateful because you know it's not a given, it's not a guarantee, that you love your body more than you just love a look, that you understand life is so much more, that you want to go inwards to be fitness, you don't want to be outwards to be fitness. And if it doesn't make any sense for you, it will, because over time you grow into realization and understanding if you keep on wanting it. But if you don't want it, remember now, you're not going to see it because you're going to keep on fighting for everything that you don't want, which is why you end up with it. Messenger VIP routine is then that I go and I talk to you about the lessons of the day, and since I can't be there for hours because thank for you, good for you, the limit on voice is maybe 10 minutes or so, depending on what phone function. But that means you're going to have precise lessons of the day, and the reason why I do it on Messenger is it's the natural way of going from one client who has an urgency or something, some project, some topic, some goal, and then I have a natural lesson there, and that becomes seizing the moment for me, for you. So I go to the group and I say, hey, I want to share about this. So it becomes such a great life fitness hacks of how to stay strong, how to operate the candy land in the world we live in. How do you get out of this on and off switch? How do you build it up? Well, you do it by being in a community where we do it. You cannot be a kind of a unicorn in a place where everyone wants to be a cow. That you have to want to stand out. You have to want to be beyond the basic. You have to not want to have what your friends are always wanting. You have to want to be strong and remember that this is practice of everything changes when you get lean. For instance, imagine this. When you're lean on your term and you have changed your body, you feel healthy and great, when you understand refeeds and how to have treats, you're going to have the furnace effect. You're going to have the thermic effect of food and overeating, which means you feel like you just, how can you have all this food and have all this joy and then wake up and you're just feeling happier, stronger, healthier and leaner, and it's sometimes not the day after, but the day after that, boom, muscular, dense, vascular. But you will never know if you keep on doing the Monday disease routine of starting over every week because you couldn't stay strong and your company didn't care. They said, have a cookie, and you just went with it because you wanted to be weak. And that is your choice then. But I'm not that person. I have no interest in that. And when my acquaintances all want to talk about how they can eat whatever they want and they're obese, I'm like, yeah, okay, good for you. Because I'm not here to tell you how to do it for me. I'm here to lead the way. I seize the training day for you. So when you join my Messenger VIP routine as a client, as a one-on-one, that is $150 to Venmo or Pauline Nordin, to Venmo at Pauline Nordin or PayPal at Pauline Nordin, same 150. That is when I add you to my monthly one-on-one. And you can try it out because I cannot do much for you in 1 month because you have a lot of, let's say, personal relationships and conflicts of interest and a lot of sabotage behavior ingrained deep into your roots that I have to kind of try to toss out a little bit here and there. And I have to do it without you being butthurt. I have to do it without your ego getting so mad at me for knowing things about you that you don't want to admit. So in this group chatting then that I added to the second group, and that is where I have the group of people that I go like here, broadcast my messages for the day based on my clients on the Messenger or on my own day, depending on what I want to share that is in the moment for the day that you need. So it's my effort, my ambition is trying to do it, precise short lessons for you to go. You know exactly where, and it's in the Messenger, and you can go there, you get a notification or not, you can mute me. But here's the thing, I have noticed a thing about people that you who love me as a friend and you know that I don't judge you for wanting to live your life, you know I'm a solitary person, that I understand, so I don't hold it against you. Unfortunately, my friendship and my open heart, my love for you, makes you take it a little bit for granted, and the unconditional love that I show you doesn't help you at times because you forget that you just lose time when you so-called flake on me, that you don't commit to yourself, it's just on you. That I might sit here and say, yeah, that sucked because we have building this up for months, we would have an amazing body transformation now, and you would be living your dream, and I would be here to help you refit and keep it up and build up the lean life now, instead of sabotaging again. But I cannot do it when you feel bad and guilty, or cannot accept that you're gonna win over yourself if you message me. You're gonna have the strength in you if you dare to say, hey Pauline, I want to go back on my word today, but I don't want to, can you help me? Because here's the thing I know from my own vast experience, that if I don't really want to stay strong, I will not. I will never choose for myself to stay strong. I will never. To know this now, and you are not aware that in those moments you think you are strong and you're not at all, I already see it coming. I know it by day interaction, because I analyze and I notice and I pay attention. I take note, but you don't. I'm very aware and observe about your behavior, your pattern, your trends, and the way you go up and down in energy and moods. How come? Because you are in a relationship with me. And if you know how you are in a relationship that you care about, you pay attention. So you pick up on the vibes and the warnings and the flow of things. So anytime a client usually says, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm just, focused on things, I know that is not true. It's just you don't want to work for yourself right now, and you don't want to have me police you. Unfortunately, unfortunately, you are the one who ultimately you end up with that. You are not wanting to have help when I can help you. So now it all feels like a negative, right? But there's a thing that the insight of realizing that you have everything you need, there's nothing you need to buy up more, you have the coach, you have the system, you have the group, you know where to go, you know who shows up. You still have to realize that you might not want to. You might just want to be a talker. And a lot of people are that. You just want to dream a little bit and then try and then forget about it, because it's more important to have it the way you do. You're comfortable. So that is also a comfort for me, knowing that, you probably don't care as much as you make it to seem when you have a moment of urgency that you gotta fit that bikini, and you have you've been living in a tent, and you forgot it takes months now of dedication, and any little moment you will go back on your word and you don't realize, because you're taking the small things. Again, a Hershey's Kiss, 200 calories, a Snickers, 240, a French fries, I don't even know, I don't eat French fries, I don't know the calories, but I sure know it's tempting and it's going to be moreish, and nobody ate one French fry. So already there, by going there and kind of testing yourself, that's a lot of what people do, testing if you can resist. What do you want? Do you want to just fall and get fat in a day? That's what happens if you don't pogo and you love to eat like me, and you just want to see what you can do. You can pack in 20,000 calories right away like that. Just one pint of Ben & Jerry's, don't say you haven't had one, 1,200, 1,500 calories. One slice of cheesecake, 1,500, 1,600 calories. And that is a whole calorie bite in one day. Just a slice of cheesecake, right? So what do you do then if you've eaten that? It's so hard to go back to eating lettuce or spinach. I don't think about that. So when I've had my bad cheat days in my life, you bet I didn't end the day with broccoli. I didn't. I stuffed myself as much as I could, knowing I was not going to do this again. But that was a lie. I just believed it. So for June, I'm going to take a pause here on the podcast. So here is a little bit of speed it up. 1, Super Shred Extreme is out there. Go and grab it. It's where you have me, my community, the live, the chat, the lessons, the thing you need to iron in, out, and in, and keep it going, because of the onion routine that you're gonna have layer after layer of self, mind, and body to keep on plowing through. And that is the highlight, that it's gonna take a longer time than you want. What else are you gonna be preoccupied with? It's the best self-learning curve. It's the best self-education, that you cannot win this war that you wanna have. It should be a dance. If you don't want to get to know who you are, and that starts with wanting to be present in your life, to not jump ship when you want to deny and admit that, I don't remember that. Well, do you want to be demented half your life? And it's not a disease now. It's like you choose to not be aware of what you do, but your body tells everything. And it taints your mind because you don't believe in yourself, because you are not seeing what you need to see to trust yourself. And I agree, because you're not doing it. I mean, you're real. You're definitely doing the sabotage, and you're aware, and I see it, and I cannot get through that. But I can if I change your mind by you knowing happiness. I can get through you if you get some gains or wins over yourself. I can if you kind of just hold tight for 1 weekend and not jump and have Monday disease over and over and over. If you can see this pattern, you see it's just a little bit of training in the same way, you're gonna be the most happy person that you did this for yourself. And that is the reason why I'm there on the Messenger VIP. So Super Shred Extreme, go and sign up for that one. And now the rest of that is on with me on Messenger. So 101 for June. You join me via Venmo or PayPal, $150 to have me on the Messenger VIP routine. When I go there and meet you up, or email depending on how you connect with me, I connect with you on Facebook's Messenger. We have the partnership there, so you and I start a relationship with the message. I add you to the Seize the Training Day group. That is where I go and have these pep talks like you have now. Short and precise, to the day. And when you have things to address, let's say you wonder about a workout, can I customize this program? Do I have a diet plan for this? All that is candy for me that I get every day from my clients, and then I make things for you to be happy and fall in love with. So that's why we have the ice cream meal plan, and why we have the Devil's Advocate and chocolate and peanut butter, because it has to be fun. The thing what I noticed that the whole world in fitness and diet is trying to do is making it a chore, a struggle and a burden, and something nobody wants to do, but we have to. Well, here I am, a loner, solitary, for a reason that I don't agree with that at all. It's not at all the way I feel, and my whole career I always had an issue that people wanted to we gotta tough it up, we gotta struggle, it doesn't have to feel good. And I was part of that too, because I was trained to be like that. I don't have to feel it, but I've changed because I have changed the way I want to feel it. So the same burden, the same struggle, it's just the way I see it and I want to see it. Because all I think about is how I feel, right? So why would I want to give it hard time for myself if I need it to be fun? So instead of struggle, it's a dance. Instead of chore, it's a privilege. Instead of, wanting to self-sabotage, it's self-insight, it's self-growth. Instead of being depressed because you can't handle your diet, instead you choose to eat nutritious food. You want to be able to eat, well, start practicing. If it gets you in trouble, time to be miserable about food, why don't you want that? Why don't you want to protect and cherish your love for food and do it the way you can have it and you're gonna love it forever? And I know I talk a lot about the food, but hey, training. Yeah, you gotta want to train harder. You can't starve yourself to do it. You have to know it takes patience. It's the best patience practice in the world is to build muscle and lose fat, because you have yourself, that you're gonna go against yourself. The impatient asshole in yourself is the one. So what you do is you have to do and be and think about things that make you happy, that make time fly. So you want to train, you want to eat, you want to open up your mind, you want to learn. You don't want to hold on to who you think you are, who you made, who you were, who you want to be, because that is so limiting. You don't know what you are yet, because you have kind of just scratched the surface. And even though you think surface of fitness is the opposite, it's the deepest self-inquiry you can ever do. It's meditation of life. Because only there will you see that you are the one who breaks under the pressure, and there is no reason for it except for fears. And fears come in all kinds. Fears of failure, fears of success, fears of everything, fears of eating, fears of not eating, fears of growing old, fears of death, fears of comparison, fears of others, fears of not fitting in, fears of not being appreciated, fears of people telling you something, fears of people saying that you're not cute. Yeah, I know. So I tell you here, I'm not cute, but I can say I'm good, and that's all. So when you let go that surface is the most important, and you realize that you say that you don't care about surface, but that is why you get disappointed and discouraged, because it takes longer to get results visually than it takes health-wise. So if you now listen to your scared heart about heart disease and blood pressure and everything that can most likely happen to your body because you are asking for it, you're welcoming the environment that makes you sick and hate yourself. That of course you will worry, and that will add depression and anxiety to you. There's a reason why typically obesity and alcoholism and drug addiction and Ozempic and weight, so we'll say gastric bypass, all those things are what people do that are based on desperation, not really wanting it to be a lifestyle. So that is one reason when clients come to me and ask, should I do a gastric bypass? I said, why? You're not going to be able to eat as much. I mean, it's not going to stop you. But if you think not eating is going to make you happy, you're wrong. Can you imagine? If you love to eat and you're not going to do it, and you made it surgically or some kind of pharmaceutically, you're going to not be happy in the future. Even though your body has a normal body weight. Because here's another thing. Just because you have a normal body weight doesn't mean that it's going to look the way you think. So now you're going to work for all that time to end up maybe not being accepting that you're not going to be 100% perfect, just 99. And that's another thing. If you change your perception of what you think is beautiful, you can be beautiful right away and not have that stress take you out of the dance, take you out of the business, because you have no ambition to be there for you. So imagine that now. If you never give yourself time, if you never are there for yourself, you have all these dreams and goals, but you never even have patience to do them. And you cry and complain about everyone, how hard it is. You are making everything and never gonna last because you're gonna quit because you are frustrated. And frustration is good in a little bit to kind of wake you up, but then you gotta have peace again. But if it's peace only with a drug-induced cookie, you know that if you can only have peace if you have sugar in your mouth, then you have things to solve, because either you just have to know you want to eat more than you want to be healthy and fit. You care more about that. Don't you want to know that? That's what I mean. That no matter what, you have only insights about yourself to learn, and that's the beauty of all this. Messenger VIP, then with one-on-one, you have the group. So I'm going to go motivate, I'm going to inspire, I'm going to motivate and educate with me on Messenger for June. To have it to see what happens when I have this format of being there for clients who kind of don't really want to be that strong, but you also want to, and you kind of feel a little bit of, oh, it's scary when Pauline messages you. It's hilarious, I know. You sign up for it, but then you get scared because you think fears are gonna get you out of your own trouble. But it's not, it's the opposite. You have to let go of the fears and start trusting. And if you don't trust yourself, you have me to trust to lead you the way. Because I'm about your happiness. I don't care about everything that you talk about that you have to achieve. I'm like, yeah, whatever, because I need to make you happy. Because when you're happy and you're productive for yourself and you stand up for yourself, you become that independent, self-mastered, self-empowered person. And that's the one I want to see. That's the one I want to chisel and sculpt and keep up. You become my friends for life because of the hard work together, which is the whole thing to do. Hard work is the reward. Without it, you will just be brittle and weak. You will not want it. If I had my body given, I wouldn't at all have fight or died. Can you imagine? What a loss. If I didn't have my fights for myself that made the name for Fight or Diet, and it's so much more and more precise to the day I live, I wouldn't be anything. If I was there just eating whatever and laughing at a cup of pasta, that's one portion, hell no, 5 of that, or it's not gonna be anything. I was perfect to become obese. Adding America and access to drive-through, oh, you bet I would be fat, so fat, because I love to eat, I recover fast, and I could be self-sabotaging, no problem. But I don't want to, because there's this other side that I love to be my best, and that's the one I want to be. So, I am. Messenger VIP, so Monday, tomorrow it's going to be, so you have the option to go in now and start early, because on June 1, my playlist sees a train day with more than 30 new workouts that I've added up here are going to be released in my U-screen, and that is where my VIP train with me on video. Some are on FGH with book form, some have written program, some have the videos as inspiration, creating programs with me or on their own. I am limitless because I want you to have options. But when you have options, you also have to know the human dichotomy that you're going to not know what to choose. So that's why I guide you. And that is what we're going to do here. And when you have me on Messenger with your U-screen, you're going to have your coach trainer help you pick. You know, you can just come here, hey Pauline, I don't know what to do today, I'm out of time, what do I do? That is when I'm perfect to have you up your sleeve if you are with me on VIP. But you don't have that if you are with anyone else or not with me, because you're going to sit there like, oh, I have 10 things I can do, I don't know what to do. And then you're going to have nobody who can check your reasoning. And how do you reason then when you have had a problem eating all your life and now someone tells you to eat more and gain weight is no problem, and you're gonna lose fat and build muscle, you're gonna get a little lost here, unless you have a strong leader. So I'm welcoming everyone who wants to try this out. It's just 1 month, there's no strings attached except for that one. You can all leave after that, including me. I'm not signing up for anything commitment. I wanna see what happens when strong people stand stronger together because we want to. If you show up present where I am and you there and we meet and it's not overwhelming, you don't have to go to a group. You can have the messenger. That is the kind of offload that I'm offering because I too love to have my tranquility, and messenger doesn't do that for me. Like messenger is like the way I can broadcast for you, and I feel so peaceful. I feel so happy because I can connect and I lead you, and I know you need a reminder. It doesn't matter because you have so many voices with misguiding or confusing messages, and you all listen to that, unfortunately, because those are prevalent and those are 99% of the diet culture online ads. And if you know my story now, you know my pages got hacked just like a lot of other people. But with Fight Right Name, that was my life vision, my film. I already knew it. It was gonna be taken over by people or something that just made me lose control, and that's what happened. So then when Ozempic came out, they became Fighter Diet with pills, and that's why a lot of you clients I saw paid up hundreds of dollars for things and then come to me saying I was a scam. I'm like, but you fell for the scam and not me. It's not me. That showed me that you got the money. It's what you put it in, right? So we all have that what we choose to do and how we reason about it. So I'm all about the love and the passion. I trust in that, and I only follow my heart. I work through my heart only. That's the only way I want to live, the only way I want to work for other people. It's the only way you can have me. I refuse. I will not be here for anyone if I don't do it out of love, to do it through my heart. The way I teach, coach, and train you, the way I do. I don't care about the rest. I just lead you who want to be with me, who understand why I do it that way, and see how extreme crazy that it is to not want to be healthy and fit and strong and not want to eat when that was the trouble, and to kind of say this, I don't have time to train for hours in the gym so I cannot be fit. Oh, but you could train with me for 10 minutes and build it up and see how much you can make in one session with me when you give up your little leadership role you have given yourself. And I know one thing, is it nepotism or something? That when you kind of give your role to someone else that, you know, because they're your child or something, yeah, that's what you do to yourself. So it's a good time to kind of know you might be leading yourself down the road, but there are two kind of people, leaders and followers, and you are not following your own, that's for sure. Because nobody, if they have a sanity mind, would follow themselves into destruction and stay there and think that is a good way to live. But if that's your environment, that's your reality, that is what you believe is happiness. And I notice that a lot of my clients, even my closest ones, you don't know what real happiness is because it's so conditional. You're reactive, you have a happiness and then the next moment not. And that's what I'm trying to fix, to not have this up and down in, I can handle depression because I just have to, you know, I can get up and then, because I know what it's driven by, drugs or junk. It's never something that you go away and meditate. Nobody who has the diet prison mindset is a meditator that goes away like me, meditate, because that's where you feel in peace. Nobody. You just sit there with your mind and have thousand storm thoughts, and then you go and act on any. And all those thoughts are information or bits and pieces from everywhere about go for it. Go, temptation, you know, oh, you have to have it. Oh, resist later. Oh, you gotta have life quality. Oh, you gotta live a little bit. All those things are what people say when you wanna be so-called have balance. But balance is always, I gotta have junk food when I don't want to be good for myself anymore. And I don't care about junk food at all, right? Like I could have my walnuts, I could have my 5 avocados and kind of pretend that is just fine because it's healthy. I'm not gonna impact my body. But that's a lie, and I'm gonna see the reality from that mindset. So June with me on the Caesar training day that you have the U-screen option. There's a code now for Strong. Code Strong gives you 30 days free, I think, with my U-screen routine. And that is paulineodin.uscreen, uscreen.io. That is where I have my library and I record and I customize for my clients. And it's awesome. And then of course, I love that you are supporting my Fight Right Recipe app, where I come out with curated meal plans and I show you the Pope Way, Devil's Advocate, how to eat with little black dress event, the fart-free foods, the fart-free meals, because yeah, There are times when you don't want to fly 12 hours over the ocean with cauliflower, and there's a reason. And if you don't know why, there's a reason to be around me, so you know what a heaven in a bowl and a toilet bowl is, and why we talk about luxury turds and what is worth living for. For instance, walk out to the clean air, ventilate the gas, and feel flat-bellied while you ate like a gluttonous pig the day before, and you feel amazing and strong and just want to train and see how your muscles pop, and you're just on a high, and no matter what happens in your life, you got it. There's nothing that can bother you because you're on a high and you choose to be it. That's the lifestyle I live because I choose to be so. I know my company and I keep it good. It's my own, and that is what I love to be. So imagine now, you can be anything you want to be if you just decide so and stand up for yourself. I want to be a cat lady. I am. I got my cat. I'm perfect. I'm so happy that all my decisions, everything I did in my life was what I did and wanted. So looking back, I'm fighting for you to not give up on your own dreams. And I know one thing, that it does get tougher to believe in yourself because you just get more and more kind of, reality of real things happening that you just add up them in your memory and say, hey, I'm a slippery slope of just negative things happening. Yeah, that's what you choose to see. And you forget everything else. And that is, again, why if you wonder why people say, I want to have a strong mind, I say, yeah, good luck. Because wanting to have a strong mind means you're not gonna do it. It's the inspiration only. Hard mind work is when you really don't want to be strong. When you get mad at yourself for having a dream and you want to fight and you want to quit but you can't because you just can't and there's no more why you just can't, that's the moment. And you're so close to that fight in the mind with me day in, day out, when you just add then that you're going to eat and you're going to add on training your way, you're going to add on, work on your body and completely change the way you see and perceive your body. It all is there in your mind. It doesn't even take you don't even have to go to gym. You can sit here on your butt for as long as you're there and just listen and get the mind aligned and then watch what happens. So yeah, you have that option. So I'm so excited. I just had a message on my messenger group to kind of set the tone that today is Sunday and it's Sunday service, and I know that everyone is starting Monday tomorrow. Some people are refitting, some are not. And no matter what, I want you to have a great day and a great start and continue having that mindset that you want to wake up with a perfect, happy, good mood, and you know how to do it, and I help you with it. Because when you become part of a group who lives a certain way, we make our own culture. That is what I'm building you up with me. That you are part of my culture. I keep my culture to myself because I don't want to have a compromised situation in my life. I love to be the master of my mind. I love to know exactly the way I invest in my life and what I do, so I have all the power to choose what I want to do and think and feel and when and how. So I know this, and that is the freedom I give to you. There is no have to go and look or watch or read messages. There is no mandatory showing up. But if you don't show up to me, I'm wondering who are you gonna have to show up for when you get enough desperate to kind of get over yourself? And how many times have you been desperate to start over again? And is it usually around New Year? So what happened to New Year this time? Just think like that. And it's not me saying that I want to give you all this to remember. It's more like if you don't learn to remember what you need to work on to get to where you want to be happy, you're never gonna have it. And most people never do. Most people do not fight for their dreams, they give up. So if you know that, and you also know divorce rate, think about that now, how that is high. And people sign up for committing to marriage without even noticing the partner, without even treading enough time together because you're just mad in love. Well, imagine that with diet now. That if I say you fall mad in love, but it's not gonna last because of the project. This is the romance, this is the honeymoon. You're gonna be mad in love with a certain meal that makes you get results, and then you believe the results are only with this menu because you always get results following this menu. Now that becomes your stuck menu mentality, and now you are terrified about, would you dare to have an alternative meal the same way? Because you just can't. It's the mind again. The stopping thing, mind stop. You just can't. That wonderful reason and rational mind, right? We talk so much about the ego is so strong. Yeah. But look at the limitations. I don't know what to do when I have more than one option. I don't know. I can't trust faith. I don't trust anything unknown. I don't know what to do. I don't know. That's the mind too. So I don't think we should give it that much credit. If you can't trust faith and trust taking a leap of faith for yourself. And what do you have to lose? Well, nothing. Nothing. Can you imagine? Except for a little bit of 100% certainty of failure. Because you're going to have that 100% your way if you give up. So Messenger with me, June, is going to be awesome. Again, go and sign up for that. I will add it tomorrow when I'm back to work for real. And that is to Venmo or Fighter Diet. I can never get it right. You Venmo or PayPal at Pauline. And the fee for this is $150. And Uscreen is free for 1 month if you are doing the code STRONG. And if not, I think it's $15 a month to train with me, to have me customize and come up with new programs. And there's new routines every month that I populate and record. So I'm living the life, so you get what you see. And then the Fighter Recipe app is $15 a month, and you get my curated meal plans, you get new recipes, you help me build it up, and you're an investor, and you get to have what you want, as in big voluminous foods and small and everything in between, all kind of fun ways, because it shouldn't be boring to eat healthy. And that is what I feel the whole world is doing, trying to make healthy eating so boring, because otherwise it's like nobody can want to do it if it's fun, right? Because if it's fun, it cannot be productive. See, it's the missionary position only kind of routine again, where nobody wants Kama Sutra, just have to get it done reproduction style. Well, I don't want to have broccoli and cod all my life and 1 oatmeal and 1 egg, and here we go. Because I like to eat and I love to eat. And the way I love to eat is I have trained myself, the way I just see what I eat is the way I love to eat, so I have this perfect marriage to myself, and which is what I build with you. So if you know the success rate with divorce, and you know that if you sign up for honeymoon way and you're going to be in love with your food, you're going to drift away and I'm wondering, why don't you see this anymore? Why don't you feel the love you used to? And that's the same thing as when you go deeper into a relationship with a person, you're going to notice there are things that you might not like as much. You have to just love it anyway, unconditionally. Because the more you focus on all things that you don't think is perfect and instead focus on what is good, you're gonna see how that list of imperfections eat up more and more until you don't want this person anymore. That is what happens with diet. That is why I say you have to mix it up. You have to find the way to stay in love by presenting it to you, to have novelty, to understand it's a love story. You have to play the love game, the infatuation, the crazy love stories, the sex fantasies. That is what you gotta do with food. And if you don't get it, well, I think you're not a foodie, right? So I'm excited and I welcome you all to this, and I'm gonna do all I can to change the way you feel when we have tried this way out. It's a pilot only, and it's only June, and it's on Messenger, and all you have to do is pay up the due, and that's the donation for me. Thank you so much for me to go there and try my best to pep talk you, motivate you, and keep you happy. That's the thing. Imagine being happy a whole June without you going back on your own because you don't know how to propel yourself out of the deep, dark bottom. Well, I want you to stay fly high on cloud 9. That's why I welcome you to Caesar Train Day with me in Messenger routine, on Uscreen, in Super Short Extreme, and to pretty much have the most amazing fitness-oriented summer of your life for once, instead of the typical summer routine in Sweden. I just go and eat candy and ice cream and then forget about it. And when it's a rainy day, it's just more ice cream. And then everyone has the vacation body after. That vacation body is not what we think it is. It's not the one we prepare the vacation for. And then it kind of just adds on the layers and fluffing it up. And then it gets fatter and fatter. And then it's Christmas. And when it's Christmas, well, then it's the gingerbread cookies and all the novelty chocolate. And it's every season there's a new thing I have to try because it's only once here. And that is kind of what you got to know about marketing. If you go for it's only here, you're going to have the impulse, reactive mind. You're going to go for this fast over and over and over because it's there, time limited. And that is what I'm saying here. This is time limited. How long are you going to wait because you take me for granted? How long do you want to just wait until Pauline's dead so I can't talk to you anymore, right? Well, you don't know. I'm going to haunt your mind anyway, right? All my love to you guys. Now you know what you can sign up for. I'll be back to work tomorrow. We're going to have the defeat to refeed. We're going to talk about how did it go? Did you follow a plan? Did you not? How are you feeling? And then we'll go from there. So I'm excited, and all my love to you guys. I love to you all. Please have a wonderful day. Pep talk yourself. Give yourself some good words. And be happy. Don't go thinking to the future or the past too much. Just live now and know that you can just go and meditate, or you can stretch, or you can read something good instead of just populate your mind with everything negative. Don't do it. You can change the way you just choose your thoughts, and I teach you how by leading the way. So that's what you get, all right? Have a wonderful Sunday, guys.